Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very inspired and moved and touched when I'm sitting there, listen to all the great speeches. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, my colleagues, entrepreneurs. We're lucky that this life we can be together on the way to do something ourselves, to do something we believe, to do something that we dreamed of. Last year was my first trip to Africa. Before I came to Africa, I worried a lot, like anybody else. This and that, this is no good, that is no good, this is not safe, everything. But I said, no matter whatever you worry, you have to step on Africa and feel it and touch it yourself. So I came. I thought, it's too late. Why didn't I came 10 years ago? Africa is a continent full of opportunities. And I was inspired and I said, from now on, every year I will come to Africa, visit the 3 countries. So this is my second trip to Africa. And I hope in next 10, 15 years, I can finish visiting 54 countries in Africa, every country. And I came with a lot of friends, business leaders in China, and they said, what we can do? I said, don't do anything, come here, feel it. Only when you feel it, you will love it. When I left Africa last year, I feel something should be done, and a lot of things can be done. And I asked myself one thing, that the day when I start Alibaba, and I told my team, and there is a sentence we remember, if not now, when? If not me, who? Right? So we said, let's come to Africa, do something. And this is why we came. And people say, well, Africa has so many problems. Tell me, in the world there is a place there's no problems? There's no place in the world there's no problems, right? And people say, yeah, Africa is poor, there's no wealth, but I feel there's the best wealth of human beings here. You have a beautiful air, blue sky, and the nature and wild animals. These are the richest assets that the whole world admire, and especially China. We admire blue sky. Right. I wish I could stay here for 20 days and for a whole month here. And I visited Ethiopia and Botswana and South Africa this time, and we already start to plan next year what are the countries we want to visit. And people say, well, Africa is too old, but I think this continent is such full of young people everywhere, right? And when you listen to the entrepreneurs, the e-founders when in Hangzhou, I said, these people, the entrepreneurs in Africa, they are the first class in the world. I'm not telling, I'm saying from the heart. The way they say, the dream, the belief, the action, and the passion. This is amazing. I think this land is full of chance, full of opportunities, full of dreams. And I think the other things you see, this land also has a lot of responsibilities. I was in Cape Town yesterday. We're giving 50 awards to the rangers. Those people protect the animals. Right? We promised we were giving 50 rangers awards every year. And these people are the job creators. They are the real heroes. I said 100, 200 years ago, people named those people killing animals are the heroes. Now we should hero those people who protect animals. And I always believe when everything's ready, it's too late. And does not. Entrepreneurs do the things before everything's ready. Right? There will be no Alibaba if everything's ready. Why Jack Ma? This guy failed again for so many times. Failed examination for university for 3 times. No money, and my father, my mother, both are very poor people in the cities. So there's no chance for us. Africa the same. Today's Africa is much better than 19 years ago when we started Alibaba. People, it was such a terrible speed at that time of using internet. You know, when I started my business, 1994, for the internet, I invite, a lot of people say, Jack is telling a lie. There is no such thing called internet. I went to register my company. And in the company registering office, people say, what kind of a company you want to do? I said, Hanzo Internet Consulting Company. He said, internet, there's no such word in the dictionary. They cannot register the company. And China was not connected to the internet the day when I registered my company. 3 months later, China was connected to the internet. So in order to prove that I was not a liar, I invited TV people came to my room. We waited 3 hours and a half to download the first front page. And that was true, right? And this is said, and at that time, nobody believed internet. Nobody believed e-commerce. Nobody believed China would have e-commerce. No logistic, no credit cards. The same question people asking you now, how can Africa have internet companies? How can you do e-commerce? You don't have a credit card. You don't have logistic. You don't have government support. You don't have everything. That's the opportunity. As an entrepreneur, we never complain. We make other people complain. We make our competitors complain. We never cry, because if cry can solve the problems, can solve no problem. We make competitors cry. We make those people who do not believe our dreams cry. In my apartment, when we started, 18 founders, and we aim high, we have a dream. We say, we want to become the top 10 internet companies or websites in the world. Guys, at that time, we are ranking several million names. But we say, we want to be number 10, or the top 10 of the world. We want to make this company last 102 years, and we don't know where's our pay next month. Well, when you are poor, if you have dreams, you never feel poor. You know what we are doing. So we never say we will win next year or we win tomorrow. We say we will win in 10, 20 years. 19 years passed. Today, we are the top 10 websites, internet companies in the world. Right? And 19 years passed. Today, we never expect that Alibaba business, Alibaba company is just e-commerce without Ali and financing. Alibaba e-commerce, our market cap is $500 billion US. So think about it. Tell me 19 years ago, anybody can say a company in China can be the top 10 internet companies in the world? Or 10 years ago, 20 years ago, anybody can believe a company in Asia could be the top 10 global tech companies in the world? So people here believe in Africa, in 10, 20 years, you will have at least 10, 20 Alibaba companies. Because if you don't dream, if you don't start to work, this thing will never happen. But if you start to do it, you have a chance. If not 500 billion, 50 billion is okay. Imagine Africa, 1.2 billion people. Most people, young people, right? As I heard from my friend, Dr. Katui, you got 13 million young people graduate from university looking for jobs. These are the resources. When Alibaba started to hire people, we could not hire people at all because nobody wanted to join a company, strange name Alibaba, right? And work in an apartment. And nobody believed e-commerce and internet. So we hired anybody who can walk. We don't care. Right, whether you have a master's degree or bachelor degree, as long as you believe us. So they join us. We start out from nothing. It was true. For the first 10 years was tough, very difficult days. Because we cannot find customers. We cannot find good engineers. We cannot find any any sort of resources we don't have, we cannot get money from the banks, right? So people say, well, in Africa, we cannot get loans from the banks. Everywhere in the world, banks do not give small business money. Right? So we start to be very careful for every cent we spend. And the day our first IPO year 2007, when Alibaba IPO'd in Hong Kong, year 2007, we had a lot of millionaires in the company. And I asked my colleagues, we have 300 people become millionaires. And I asked them, hey, now tell me, you become millionaires because you are smarter than the others? The people said, no. We even cannot find jobs. Right? Because you are hardworking? Yes, we work hard. We find more people hardworking than us. But they did not succeed. Why they're not smart? All the smart people at that time, they went to Microsoft and IBM. And headhunting companies came to headhunt all the best guys from us. And we are the people, nobody come to headhunt us. We have no place to go. We believe in ourselves. We believe our dream. We work together. So I say, we are the people because nobody wants us. I am the person. Over 30 companies don't want me. Right? So we are the people get used to be rejected. We are the people get used to be say no from the other people. Why people should help you? People help you. That is unusual. People do not help you. That is very common. You should work to earn to be helped. Right? So, in order to encourage my 17 founders and all the people who joined us, I said, our competitors are very strong. At that time, our competitor was eBay. A lot of the eBay guys graduate from Harvard. We are people graduate from no I don't want to even mention about the university names. Well, nobody. But I say, if we can win, if we can succeed, 80% of the young people in China, in the world, can be successful. Because we believe, we work, a lot of them have dreams, but they don't work hard. A lot of work hard, but they don't have dreams. Entrepreneurs should work plus dreams. In this way, we can win. So today, Africa, you don't have a bank account. A lot of people don't have a bank account, don't have a logistic, don't have the credit card system. This is opportunity. Go build up this. When other people come, where is the opportunity? Opportunity always lies in the place where people complain. When people complain, you go solve the problem. The big problem you solve, the big company it is. This is always about entrepreneurs. So this is what I see Africa. It's full of problems, but it's full of opportunities. And also, as an entrepreneur, it's not easy. Very lonely. The only people who support you, your parents may not support you, right? Your friends do not support you. Your wife do not support you. Your husband do not support you. I get used to that. You have to get used to be those supporting. So when you're lonely, use your left hand to warm your right hand. Right? I always say, someday I will be there. Someday we will be there. And this is something that always in my heart. I tell the team that as an entrepreneur, remember one mode, that today is difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult. But the day after tomorrow is beautiful. But most people die tomorrow evening. Right? You have to work very hard. You have no choice. Because you are not working for yourself. You are working for the dream. You're working for the things you believe. So a lot of people join me, not because they have talents. Because there's no experts of future. There's always experts for yesterday. In Africa, don't listen to those experts telling you don't do this, don't do that. Tell them Africa needs a future. The future has no experts. Right? We entrepreneurs, someday we are the experts. Right? So this is what I think. And when you an entrepreneur, get used to failure. Today, say, Alibaba, you succeed. Well, our company won't last 102 years. Why 102 years? Because every target, every goal we give to our team should be very accurate. We were born in 1999. Last century, we had 1 year. We want to spend 100 years and plus 1 year, 102, cross 3 centuries. So very accurate. We never see we are successful because we are only 19 years old. There's 83 years to go. So we will never say we're successful. We just survived 19 years. We are lucky. But in the past 19 years, we have made thousands of mistakes. As an entrepreneur, don't learn from other people how they succeed. Learn from how these people fail. Because a lot of MBA schools, they teach you successful case studies. When you read too many successful, you think you can be successful. No. There are a lot of things that you don't know. Because, some business school came to Alibaba, write case studies. They say, no, this is Alibaba. And I say, no, this is not Alibaba. They wanted me to sign after 1 week study. They say, this is case study Alibaba A. I said, no, this is not me. They say, Jack, you don't know you. And I said, all right, I signed. And next 5 years, every year there is a case study in Tsinghua University. I was invited to sitting at the back, listen to the MBA schools talk, learning about our case study. And they always put a competitor. Competitor in Alibaba, who will succeed? For 5 years, they always agree Alibaba will die, the competitor will win. But 5 years, all the competitors died. So how can you learn from the case study like that? Learn from the mistakes. Because the mistake, most of the companies I talk to, entrepreneurs, most of the mistakes they made are the same. Most of the success reasons, you don't know. They're different reasons. So when you learn from the mistakes, not because you want to avoid the mistakes, because when you see the mistakes, when you have these kind of problems, you know how to face it. An entrepreneur have a strong heart towards the difficulties, mistakes, the troubles, the failures, but should be a warm and soft heart to your colleagues and to the customers. And I think one of the things I want to share with the values, the 6 values, among the 2 values, very unique in Alibaba, which I think the whole world should think about. We put customer number 1, employee number 2, shareholder number 3. Most companies in Wall Street, they put the shareholder number 1. I said, customer is the most important. If you serve them well, they pay you the money. And the second important is colleagues. Why the colleagues get together? Because they want to serve the customers. If they do not serve the customers, why we get together? Right? So if the customer happy, employees happy, the shareholders will be happy. And the next value I'll share with you is embrace the change. In this changeable world, keep changing is the best way to keep step, keep it successful. I remember year 2000 when I tried to raise my money. I went to a lot of venture capitalists. They say, Jack, give me the business plan. I said, I don't have a business plan. Well, write something. And look at the others. They have such a thick business plan. I spent a whole week writing on one piece of paper. This is a business plan, a book. The book is about how to be successful, doing their business in e-commerce, internet in China. I say, how can they write a book? China was not even connected to the internet. We never change our dreams, but we change ourselves. We learn from the mistakes. from the others and ourselves and change and become successful. This is how we did. So, and also encouraging all the entrepreneurs in Africa, do not think about your own country. Think about the whole Africa. Think about the whole world. If you only think about your own country, there's no difference between thinking your own country and your own village. The internet connects everywhere. And this continent is very simple. People say very complicated. I think it's very simple. If you have been to Europe, you know how complicated it is. They worry too much. Right, security, privacy, this and that. Before the business is done, they start to put a lot of rules and laws. Here, you have nothing to destroy. Right? So, this world, the most difficult thing is to convincing a successful people. Successful people is telling you, don't do this, don't do that. We have experienced this and that. We are the people. We want to be successful. We want to create the future. We want to do something that we believed in. So I think the very important for Africa is to create jobs. And the best way to create jobs is to encouraging small business. The best way to create jobs is to trust the young people. And I talked to the president yesterday evening. We should, every country in this world, in this century, should encourage, give good conditions, tax conditions to the startups, not big companies. Right? I'm very happy to hear that he agreed. Because those big companies, they don't need that. We startup need that. If you take tiny tax from those tiny startups, it's just like taking the meat of the mosquito legs. You're killing the others, you did not survive. So there are so many great conditions for big companies. It is time, let's get policies for startups, for young companies. And also, I encourage all the entrepreneurs, if you want to start a business, don't think you will be successful next month or next year. Think about at least 5 years. Because if something can be successful next month, why you? You have a rich father, you don't have to be a startup. Right? And by the way, don't be discouraged because you have a poor diploma or, graduate from a poor university or low education. Don't worry about that. If you graduate from MIT, Harvard, you will never be an entrepreneur. Right? They can only be the white-collar guys. So, as an entrepreneur, you should have what is the strategy for entrepreneurs? Strategy is time, 10 years. You compete with the other people, the vision. The world will be there. What kind of customers they need, how we can build it up. If you prepare for 5 years and 10 years, if you have a good team, and always do before the government do. If you're waiting for government, you have no chance. Right? When government say, there is an opportunity there, go that direction. Because it will be too crowded there. Right? This is always... So as an entrepreneur, always ask yourself 3 questions. What do you have? What do you want? And what will you give up? What do you have? We have nothing. Right? The only things we have dream, we believe, we have a team. And I believe we have the time to work hard. And what do you want? And what do you want? You have to ask what the customer want. What's the problem of the society? What's the problem of your customers? And what your team want. Think about what do you have, we want, and what we give up. If you don't want to give up everything, you will get nothing. A lot of business people, they never learn to focus. If you're a startup, learn to be focused on one thing, right? Because learn to be focused just like there are 9 rabbits on the ground. If you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit. change yourself. If you want to catch this one, finally you get nothing. So for 9 rabbits, don't change the rabbit. Change yourself to catch that rabbit until you got it. A lot of things we have to learn. It's a great experience to be an entrepreneur. Life is so cool when you become an entrepreneur. In my life, the day I never write a book for myself. I think those people who write books are getting too old. My life just the beginning. The day when I want to write a book, Alibaba 1001 Mistakes. And I want to tell my kids how many tough days I have gone through. How many silly mistakes I've made. And this is the best experience. This is, because it's easy to be good, but it's tough to be bad. So, the other thing is I think Africa has 2 great opportunities lie before us. First is digital Africa. You don't have such a complicated IT infrastructure. Today, it is very difficult to move in Europe and America because they have such a perfect IT infrastructure. You know, one of the reasons why e-commerce in China grows so fast is China infrastructure of retail is too bad. Suddenly, e-commerce we jump up. Africa, I think it's almost same like China 90 years ago. Opportunity. And you don't have a payment. I encouraging all the government in Africa to launch the payment for everybody have the chance to reach the money. It is not that difficult. The technology is there, and don't worry about, there's security, this. I tell you, Alipay, Alibaba payment, in the past 15 years, we've been going such a tremendous amount. Every day now we have more than 500 million transactions. We are bigger than Visa Global, Mastercard Global. We have more than $10 trillion transaction last year. We don't have even 1 cent mistake. Any bank tell me that you don't have 1 cent mistake in 1 year? We don't, for 15 years. The technology is there. The only thing is you want your people to be rich. You want your small business to reach the money. So please, all the government policymakers, encouraging the inclusive financing. And the technology is there. Alibaba will do anything to share the technology. And the second thing is logistic. All the African countries should be working together. Over 54 countries. Make a free trade. Make the logistics center. Logistics can create millions and million jobs for Africa. If somebody have an idea, can global buy, global sell, global deliver, it will be such a great opportunity. So, and tourism. There are a lot of opportunities here. So let's make Africa a digital. So encouraging every government. Some of the countries I visit, I feel sorry that the bandwidth was too bad. Very expensive. I went to one of the countries, I don't want to name their name. It's a beautiful place, and there's no Wi-Fi, a tiny Wi-Fi. They say, well, in order to give you a peaceful rest, so we don't have Wi-Fi. I said, no, because you don't have Wi-Fi. So if we do not cover the Wi-Fi and mobile for Africa, it's worse than 20 years ago, we do not have electricity in Africa. It is so important. Let the people reach the internet, get the information, get the buyers, get the sellers, get the partners, get the ideas communicate. So this is very, very important, and I encourage you. And the next thing I want to say is entrepreneurs forums. The government should encourage entrepreneurs. Make entrepreneurs of the hero of today. I hope that we will work together with the e-founders. Next few years, we will have more entrepreneur forums in Africa. The prize is to encourage entrepreneurs. It's the entrepreneur that will drive Africa economy. These people have dreams. It's not the money, it's not the technology that drive the economy. It's the dreams that drive the economy. It's the young people that drive the economy. And it is the small business that create the jobs. So I want to work with you together People say, why you? Why you? I said, why not me? Because I failed so many times. We don't have a resource, we don't have money. And I know as an individual, so difficult when people don't help you. And as a small business, so difficult. No, banks do not help you. But if you got a chance to survive, it's so great. So now I think everything I got is not because we hard work, because of our team, because of the time. It is time to giving this thing back to society. If we have more Jack Ma, if we have more Alibabas, if we have more Tencent, if we have more Alipay, if we have more Facebook, the world will be much more colorful. This is what we want to do, because I'm okay. I'm happy about my $9, $10 a month when I was a teacher. I think I don't worry about my life. I don't worry about my kids' life. But the money, if you put in the bank will waste all my money. I would spend money. So let's work it together. Let's make Africa a digital Africa, making every young people have the opportunities. The other chance for Africa is globalization. I'm a strong believer of globalization. Nobody can stop globalization. Globalization has nothing wrong, but globalization needs to improve. Globalization in the past 30 years only focused on developed countries, big companies. We should make globalization more inclusive to support the young people, small business, and women. So these are the things, the opportunities lie for Africa. And finally, I think Africa, you have a wonderful female entrepreneurs. At the internet time, if you do business across the board, if you do business online, people never show me your diploma. Whether you're a man or woman, people don't care. They care whether you serve people well. So if you want to be a good company, you should have at least 50% of the employees of women. If you want to be an outstanding company, you should have more women than men. Let me tell you, Alibaba, we have 48% of the employees of the company are women. 34% of senior management are women. Because women, they're loyal, they're hard work. Like different men, they care more themselves. I'm sorry, all right? Women, they care for the husband, and they care about the kids and mother, and also work. These are the people we need in this century. And I think African women have a huge potential. They're passionate, they feel love, and they serve people well. So let's do this. All right. So this is how I want to share with you. And for this Entrepreneur Prize, it's just the beginning. It's the test. The money, $10 million, that's not big. But it is something we want. I mean, it's not big compared to the other people, the government spend the money or people on the other areas. Entrepreneurs, do we need money? Yes, we need money. But if some people came to me for many years, in the past year, people came to me and said, Jack, if I have money, I'm going to do this and that. I say, oh, please go. If the money can solve problems, the banks can do anything. Entrepreneurs, they always put their dream, their team, customer, and then money. Money is there. They're full of money. The only thing is whether you continue to dream, continue to make efforts, continue to work hard, continue to make people, empower the others. So I would be very happy to join together with the e-founders and all entrepreneurs. Let's encourage the entrepreneurs in Africa. Support them and respect them. And we want to make them the heroes, because when we have more great entrepreneurs in Africa, this land is going to prosper. And this land is going to be a real mysterious land. It's a land that everybody come. So thank you so much. And I hope Alibaba can say, what's the return of Alibaba? The Alibaba return is that we hope 10, 20 years later, when Africa is good, we can get a tiny. What means tiny? Today, Alibaba, when we started, we've been free for 9 years. Why we can be free? Because we work very hard to make the technology good. We work hard to make our customers easy and simple and cheap. But we only get less than 1.2 or 2.3% of the tiny, because we have a lot of customers. 1 point is great enough for us. So Alibaba's return is entrepreneurs happy. If you're happy, then you will be successful. If you're successful, I don't think you mind about 0.1%. Thank you so much.